Welcome back to your favorite podcast, Pixabuzz, where we talk about
nerd culture,
tech news,
and everything in between.
with a little bit of a buzz. I am your host, who is Zane. Go ahead and find me on Instagram, my Facebook, my webpage, and
I am Schematis. You can find me on Instagram, SoundCloud, Twitter, YouTube. All
nice.
that cool stuff.
Go ahead and look us up.
Nice.
Today we're actually gonna enjoy some tequila. This one's actually Teremana, which is famous due to The Rock.
Oh, really?
This is The Rock's brand of tequila. I wish we could have gotten the bigger bottle, but as Cal knows, we went to the shop. They didn't have it. I think they're just testing out to see how many people actually buy the tequila.
Oh, really? Is it like a new release?
Yeah. It's only been out for I think 4 months or so.
Oh, wow.
It's not that long.
Let's give it a shot. I'm actually kind of curious about this one. What do you
Gonna
think?
taste it.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, nice.
That's actually kind of good.
That's pretty.
A little
Easy.
lime in there would be great, but even by itself, it's nice. And usually tequila is like kind of hit or miss with me. But that's
I didn't want to really mix it with anything. I wanted to have the actual taste.
That's
of
good.
It.
I think it works.
It's not bad.
I'd
actually.
recommend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call.
Highly
on that
recommend.
one. Man, I want to get into this topic.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. This is gonna be great.
Today's topic is
Instagram.
Is Instagram dead for content creators?
I honestly, this is something I want to talk about, man. Like we've been seeing all these updates. We want to just like peel off these layers.
Mm-hmm.
We had a ton of stuff happening recently, and we know that Instagram is very vicious when it comes to competition.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It kind of killed Snapchat in a certain kind of way. It took the stories feature right out of it. It was completely unashamed about it, and now it's doing the same thing to TikTok with Reels.
Correct.
But the thing of it is, this latest update really is pushing Reels. It's like kind of almost, hey, we're going to just make you want to use this. They put it front and center. They also put a shop in there. Like, what are your thoughts on this?
So, there's quite a lot of changes. Feeds or the story feed is the prompt, like the main thing that comes up when you open up your Instagram.
Makes me sick.
Even when you want to post.
Yeah.
You don't get to post onto your feed. It's like a story, or whether you want a
Reel or not.
A reel.
I honestly, it's so. I'm thinking like, okay, they obviously have a really good UI team, but this time I don't know what they were doing. I think they were just like, you know what, we're gonna just kill the old model, and we're gonna really push video, not photos. And so I'm thinking, this is not like a photographer's playground anymore. It's more like I don't even know what to say. I don't want to say like young teens. It's more like a videographer's kind of.
Well, they were doing videos before though, right? So you did have like a story that you could put, which was like 15. They had IGTV.
They
right?
did.
So they did have like long format videos, but so it's a little weird why they decided to kind of come out with this new feature, because it just doesn't make sense. Like, you've already had 2 forms of video. Why do you need that third one?
This Reels thing, it really just shows that TikTok was doing something very right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that there's another attempt to just kind of try and silence that realm. Like, hey, we're going to be the main pillar. We're going to do the exact same thing you're doing. We're going to switch the name up. We're not, like, honestly, I don't see any difference. I think it's like the problem with this is like when I went to Instagram, I usually liked going, but now I feel a little bit like put off.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming, not just because of the Reels, but also because of the market, right?
Yes.
So that store that they've always had the store, but now it's like in your face at all times, which I get for certain type of content creators who do want to sell their merch.
I see.
I get that, right? But it's Instagram itself, and I know it's a place that will always evolve depending on what is current.
Right.
But it used to be a place where I can post a picture where I just wanted to post it, and I didn't necessarily need to have anyone approve it, right?
Yes.
There's no attention needed to it. But now, even I personally feel like when I post something,
that's a good point.
Man, why is no one liking
you
this?
want that validation?
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, how did this happen all of a sudden? Before it was like, yeah, I just post this. I thought this was a good thing to post. It feels good to me. But now you're wondering, would my friends like it? Would this random stranger I don't know, like Naruto 22, like it? Like, all this stuff is coming into play. I feel like when I go into like Instagram now, anytime I log in, it just feels like walking into Bloomingdale's. Like, you go into Bloomingdale's, you know exactly what you want. but then there's all these salesmen along the way that kind of say, hey, you should try our product, try our product, try our product. There's ads everywhere. It just feels like a shopping mall of social media now.
I'm sorry, guy that goes to Bloomingdale's to shop.
Oh,
Look
sorry.
at this guy.
Sorry about that. Listen, I'm not
Hey,
that
you like
fancy.
good stuff. You like good stuff.
But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It feels a little bit off-putting, especially because I got into Instagram for photography specifically. Even though I did play with the video features and every now and then, it just feels way different now.
Yeah, it's
way different.
oversaturated with not just photography. There's not the videos. I guess I know that they want to compete with TikTok, and that's why they put the reels out.
Yeah.
But it's almost like they themselves are losing themselves, right?
Yes.
They are unsure of what they want to accomplish with their Instagram
It's actually really deep.
application.
I
So
hope Facebook sees this, by the way. That's really
they're,
good
they're
point.
not gonna care.
The way you put that, like they're losing themselves. It's like they're doing everything, but they're gonna end up being nothing eventually. They're just it's like a melting pot of.
But this is what happens with all those social media accounts, right?
Mm.
Twitter, I feel like is the bottom of that,
Tell
right?
me.
Where Twitter in the beginning it was like you can only do 144 characters.
I remember
You
that.
can't even with hashtags included, or if you add someone,
Yeah.
it's 144 characters.
That was
Then
cut off, yeah.
Instagram was able to like put more than 144 characters. Plus, you could put a picture to it.
Yeah.
So and then Instagram added hashtags don't count. When you add someone, it doesn't count.
Right.
And you could put pictures, and it's like, and now you can repost where like Twitter.
It's iteration on top of it all the time. And you know
Yeah.
what's funny? I actually really like Twitter as a platform.
I have a hard time with it, man.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
It's
What?
weird because
Uh-oh.
it's not like I feel like people who had traction originally are able to get traction, but it's almost like just a platform where you just kind of text everyone, right? So you
Yes.
post something and then it's broadcasted,
Yes.
and people kind of reply it, like it or retweet it or whatever. But if you don't have that traction,
Yeah.
you're like speaking into the void.
You are. You 100%. Twitter, you are. It's like literally the way I try to think about it is like you have an open journal that's sitting in your room open, and anyone can come in and read it at any point in time and add their own thoughts if they feel, or just ignore it. And usually, if no one knows where you live or they can't find your room, like no one sees it. But
Right.
once you get into a specific, I would say like this kind of orbit, you get a natural flow of communication. It kind of feels like the cocktail party of the internet in a sense. Like everyone just goes there to talk, but you've got to insert yourself into a certain community on Twitter.
Right.
Otherwise, you are literally in a void. Like you're just talking to a galaxy of space. It's just no one cares. And so once you infiltrate, you'll see like it starts to become a little bit more, accessible in terms of just like conversation. But I still think that Twitter has something that Instagram doesn't have, which is that human factor. Right? No one on Twitter is looking to be seen or validated in that kind of sense like you feel on Instagram. It just feels like more of that humble, down to earth, I want to do something cool. Here it is. Let me talk about it. Let me show you my experience. And people are more open to just like talking about it rather than just like, oh, wow, this person's so awesome. No, there's no pedestalization of people.
Correct.
It's just like, hey, I'm a human. Instagram is like that. You feel
Yeah.
that sense of pressure. Like, am I doing something wrong? Is this going to be cool? Is this going to be liked?
Yeah.
None of that is on Twitter.
I could see that.
And that's why I really like their fleet that they just came out with. I'm one of the fleeters. I'm not going to lie. I'm a fleeter.
We were having a conversation about this not too long ago, right? Where Twitter is now the last person to incorporate that whole video aspect into their whatever account, into their social media account. And it's interesting the way that they're now approaching it. I've always felt like Twitter does not compress your photos, or if you did want to repost videos at times, it did not compress it.
Sometimes. It depends.
Right, I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm also not trying to upload 4K video onto it,
Yeah. There were some, like, it's actually really weird. I don't even know how it works sometimes, but some people notice when they upload certain videos, it does compress a lot of the audio within it. And it kind of sounds a little muffled up sometimes. I think it's getting better over time, but it has some ways to go. I think it'll get there. My faith is that it'll get there.
It will. It definitely will. Now the question is, will it get there before everyone transitions over to Instagram, or before Instagram itself also starts dying out and then TikTok takes
Funny
over?
story. I actually feel like, so when Instagram hit this update, I felt like some people were actually migrating over to Twitter. Some were reluctant, but some were actually more than happy to do it because they saw like, wait a minute, I can still post photos on Twitter. Yes. I can talk to my friends on Twitter. Yes. I can share more of my thoughts on Twitter. Yeah. It's like, well, why not just move to Twitter as well? What they're missing is like the instant gratification because again, you're starting from a new account. Like, not everyone is there, but I think it's just about being in that area to get the land grab first. Like, hey, I can still do photography, modeling, content creation over here. It doesn't have to just be on Instagram. I think Instagram did a good job at putting itself on that kind of like status, but you can do it anywhere, and Twitter's a good platform to do it.
Yeah, I think, like you said, that instant gratification is hard to come by on Twitter. But if you have a crowd that can follow you to whichever platform you go to, I feel like content creators who were in TikTok, who, because of the whole legality issues, were losing their content, did migrate over to Instagram. Now the question is, will they also migrate over to the fleets?
I think it'll take some time, and I think it's the funniest thing is I remember when Fleet first came out, and I was literally so happy about it. I was looking at everyone fleeting at that moment because Twitter's interesting because like I said, it's more the humble human element. The people that are like, them for certain pieces of work, you can see them kind of doing their own thing and like living life and like what their fears and enjoy is like on a very basic level. I'm like, yo, this is what I need to see. But what I noticed is that there were a lot of people complaining about it, but they were still fleeting. They're like, oh, why does every app use a video? I don't want this. I hate this. And they were still fleeting a week, 2 weeks. I'm like, okay, obviously they're doing something right here. Yeah. Otherwise you wouldn't be here.
There is some sort of entertainment there or else people wouldn't be putting it out. I did try it out recently, and I put up actually a video for the tequila itself. People liked it more than normal. Like so it's interesting because I think people now are trying to ingest content not just from that one platform. Now they know that okay, so TikTok is the place to go if you want like short format video content.
Always,
I get it. But now you have Instagram and you have Twitter, so now. Like, I don't just want to have pictures or videos, but maybe I do want to have that connection, like you said.
Yes.
That one-on-one connection where I can, like, speak to people.
Yeah, it's awesome. I honestly think it's the best thing, the best platform for that, specifically. Like, even if you think about it, and you get your comments on Instagram, what do they usually look like? You usually get emojis,
yeah,
right?
It's usually emojis.
Fire, monkey face, and then like Twitter's more like, oh wow, this was great. How'd you work on this? And now you have a conversation happening, and I'm like, this feels more real to me.
Yeah, there's definitely more conversation wise, like actual conversations in Twitter, which it's very interesting. I have yet to master that craft, but it's interesting because you're also having a hard time trying to create a reel.
Yes.
Where in my case, I'm like, reels are pretty simple in a sense to me, where you could just create this video format, publish it, and I don't necessarily have to create it within the Instagram app, like we were mentioning earlier.
That's good, actually. Yeah.
Right? So you create content prior to creating it on your phone.
I'm glad you brought that up.
So you just create the content, upload it to Instagram, just like you normally would with stories. So it's very interesting how we both see like the other side of the coin, right? Where you like relating to people on Twitter, but maybe it's because you have that audience. Whereas because I don't have that audience in Twitter, I relate more on my video content, photography content.
I like this one actually. I'm glad you brought that up too about like not using the Instagram inbuilt reel mechanism because I tried it and I'm like, why? This is not intuitive. There's a lot happening here. So you're recording completely separate though. Like you're on you're using your own setup and you probably edit your videos with like Adobe or
so I use so if I'm sharing videos of how I edit stuff, it's being used, or I'm recording on my phone the screenshots, but then I edit in Final Cut or sometimes Premiere.
Good for you, man. Yeah, but I don't know. I think is Instagram gonna die? Like, I honestly feel like it might be on the way out. It just feels different. I think most people who went in for strictly photography are looking for alternate platforms. I've heard DeviantArt. I've heard 500 PX, I think.
Yeah, so DeviantArt has been around forever. Yeah. I mean, it's been around since Facebook or MySpace. It's been around for ages, and it's always been like an artistic page in which you can share your art, whatever. 500 PX or whatever. I've heard weird mixed reviews on it. I was actually gonna get it, but when I looked at the comments on my phone, everyone was talking about the copyrights. So apparently if you upload it, correct me if I'm wrong, please let us know in the comments down below, or for the people listening, let us know on our webpage.
Absolutely.
People are afraid that the rights get removed. So if you upload something to the 500XP PX,
I think it's PX. I forget. You know what I'm talking. We're on the same page. I think it's like 500 PX PL or something.
You lose the right to your content.
That's not good.
Which was another scare on Instagram before as well, where people were afraid that if they uploaded there, Facebook itself was able to But I don't know these specifics, so please, once again, correct us if we are wrong.
Absolutely.
But it's going to be very interesting. I don't think Instagram will die.
Okay.
I think it's too big of a platform to die.
Yeah.
But the question is, how will it adapt now? Because like you said, the interface for Reels, very, very clunky. Yes. And I think is that they were trying to adapt a similar interface to TikTok.
Yeah. And
then just copy paste it into Instagram.
Right.
Which is cool for people who were in TikTok. But what about us, the other content creators?
Who's completely new to this? Because I completely missed the whole TikTok phase. I didn't download it at all. Period. I still don't have it on my phone. I saw TikTok videos when people send them to me. But as for the app itself, I'm completely unfamiliar. And I feel like, literally, old now. Yeah. I'm like, damn, I'm the old guy here now. Yeah. I'm trying to learn a young person's platform, and I don't get it.
The funny thing is, I thought TikTok was going to be the Snapchat, where it was going to be here for a bit and then leave. But it's interesting. TikTok took over. It's a really big platform in China, of course. It's a big platform around the world.
Yep. And
there's a bunch of TikTokers who are using it to its advantage. And then now transitioning over to YouTube and I guess now Instagram. So it's interesting. It's a very weird time to be alive in, because
and I don't mean to cut you off, but one thing I just thought about instantly, right? So Reels is basically a TikTok clone.
Yeah.
Why don't I just get TikTok?
You can. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I think people on TikTok are also just putting their same TikTok content on their Instagram, isn't it, at this point?
Yeah. I feel like people are just exporting, and sometimes you'll see the TikTok logo on the bottom left corner of the reel or the story. Yeah. Because they just export it and paste it.
And that's it, right? Simple. No one cares. And you know what? I did hear that the algorithm on TikTok is really good, scarily good. To the fact that they know what you want over time, almost instantly. They kind of look at what you filter out, what you don't want to see, what you're not interested in, and they kind of cater a whole set of videos toward your personality. Scarily heard. I heard it was very accurate for multiple people. It's this is what I need.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I haven't been part of it. I myself haven't downloaded it. I don't know if I will, but at this point, it's why not?
Okay. You know? Right. Can't beat them, join them.
Yeah. At this point. But let us know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Twitter, that Instagram, TikTok, any of those platforms are dead? And if you migrated from one to the other,
let us know.
Why? Why did you do it? Yeah. Do you prefer Twitter? Do you prefer Instagram, TikTok? Let us know down in the comments below. Or the people listening, let us know.
Let us know.
Till next time.